place called Dalmara Beach.
Well, hello, up here at Balmoral Heights at a place called Dalmara Heads in Sydney Harbour, Sydney, Australia. And what we're looking at there is the Sydney Heads, North Head on the left where the quarantine station is, and South Head on the right where the Navy base HMAS Watson is. Have a look there at a couple of Manly ferries making their way to Circular Quay from Manly. This one here is going to Manly, and this one here is going over to Circular Quay. The passage from Manly to Circular Quay is 30 minutes, and the ferries leave quite plentiful from 6 AM through to about midnight. I'm also joined up here with Sydney resident Brendan Wood, who's probably Sydney's most famous modern day explorer. Right. Good morning, Brendan.
Yeah, hello, Crouch. It's a wonderful day to be out and about. You know, it's starting to get a little bit chillier in Sydney compared to summer, but in saying that, we're both standing here in shorts and t-shirts.
Absolutely, it's about 18, 19 degrees. I think it's about 21 topped today. Over there we can see Manly Pier, and over here is the quarantine station, Brendan. I understand that you've been to the quarantine station before and explored that?
Yes, it's at North Head, and that quarantine station was opened in the year 1823. It's where all the immigrants went who had disease. So they would get off the boat over there. Literally, there's a very small wharf. You'd get off at the wharf and you'd take your bags and suitcases and you'd go and sit in quarantine station. The quarantine station was originally, from memory, a 4-week stay, quarantine, as in 4, quarantine. So you'd stay there for 4 weeks and then you'd be allowed into the community in and around Sydney. Most of the people who were arriving there were either coming from the United Kingdom mostly, some from South Africa, New Zealand, the United States. Nowadays we have modern transportation, things like planes, so you can't park a plane at North Head. Some could say though you could get off the plane during a pandemic, drive the bus around to North Head and throw people up there, but they're not. So nowadays quarantine station is a hotel, commercial hotel. You can stay overnight there. Outstanding place to go and stay. I went there with my wife about a year and a half ago. I really loved it. Great views of Sydney Harbour and Sydney Harbour Beach.
I understand there's some old World War II tunnels and forts there.
Yeah. So at the top, basically, where you're looking at, so above where the housing is and the properties are, that is where you have the fortification for World War I and World War II. There are tunnels up there. Concern in and around which the Japanese did during World War II. They managed to get into the harbour between North Head and South Head and tried to detonate bombs and other stuff.
Well, they did. They sunk a couple of our ships.
That's right.
Sunk the HMAS Sydney.
Yep.
Around the corner there, Bradley's Head.
Yep.
This new ferry over there is called the Manly Fast Ferry. It's a private enterprise ferry.
Yep.
Normally Sydney Transit already operate all the Sydney Harbour ferries, but quite recent times privatisation of ferries is emerging. It's an emerging trend, and this is a Manly Fast Ferry. The journey takes 20 minutes as opposed to 30 minutes, and it is slightly more expensive. The trip across the harbour is about $7.30 from memory.
Is it really? Yeah. Right. And you can pay for it on your Opal card.
You can, yeah. Well, it's $7.30 on the normal Manly ferries. This one here will be a bit dearer. I think it's about $12, $13.
Actually, you're right. It would be.
Yeah.
People get caught out using their Opal card because it doesn't add into their various benefits of the Opal card.
No, it doesn't. No. Well, there we are. Brendan's just had to go on and take a phone call, but here we are, live from Sydney Harbour in Sydney, New South Wales. Thanks for viewing. Well, since the last video, we've walked from this point over there up this fairly steep incline, which was hard going, rough vegetation to push through, but our persistence got us through here, Brendan.
Yes, yes.
There's an oval just behind us, and we just took on some water there, and we're now out looking the Sydney Harbour in Sydney, Australia. About to watch another passing of the Manly ferries, one coming from Circular Quay and one coming from Manly. And interesting to note this old structure, old house down here. Using the Samsung zoom, I'm zooming in at 9.1. I'm going to go for a 10. Yeah, look at that 10 zoom, Brendan. We're going to have a good look at that.
That's very good.
So we're roughly about halfway through the walk from Manly to Balmoral Beach. And we're getting more of a view of Sydney Harbour as we go along. You're engaging your Twitter users as we go along?
I just did a bit of a search for the Dobroyd Head huts, it's called.
Mm-hmm.
And there was some items written here online, which I'll have to click on soon. It's heritage cabins tucked away in Sydney National Park.
There you go.
Hidden heritage gems a government department does not want anyone to know about or use. 7 cabins, some more than 80 years old, are built around rugged Crater Cove, a quiet inlet in Sydney Harbour, but the National Parks and Wildlife Service wants to keep them a secret.
Right.
Right.
Ooh, horizon out there today.
It says if too many people stray off the popular walking track from the Spit to Manly to take a closer look at the fragile buildings, they could be damaged. The cabins are nestled on the cliffs here, which we know about. Built between 1923 and 1963. They were initially used as weekenders and later became home to a few permanent residents or artists or retreats. Okay.
Well, I suppose for more information, you'll tweet about that or write about that later on, and people can follow you on all social media mediums at brendanwood.com. That's Brendan with an E, Wood, no S.
There you go.
The journey has come to a halt because our leader doesn't want to walk over
Okay,
it.
if you go over it first, Dan.
You go first.
Graham will film it. He'll film
No,
it.
he
Yes.
will turn me. Oh, now you're going to turn back. You go first.
You want me to go first? Okay, I'll go first. We'll try everything that was very. I was going to walk. No, you're crazy, man. Here we go, I'll go first.
Be brave. Huh. Well, after 10.26 kilometres, we arrived here at the Spit Bridge. This is one of the very few bridges in Australia that actually open up, has opening times. And there you see the bridge control station up there. And the bridge opens up every 2 hours to allow passing boats to get underneath the bridge at the Spit Bridge. I'd like to thank our Sydney tour guides, Brendan J. Wood. You can follow Brendan at Brendan Wood on all social medias.
Hello, Graham and crowd, good to be talking to you. So Graham's just walked the whole famous Manly to the Spit walk.
And probably ran the last 1 kilometre, mind you.
Yeah, there was
as
a bit
per the
of
video.
running.
Yep.
Yes. Worth checking out whether it was actually a kilometre, but yes, there was a bit of running there. Crouch turned into this Ironman style. But we're going to take a photograph here very shortly and include the Spit, so it looks like the finale that Crouch has actually got to the end of the big walk. Look at the nice little view up there. That's the track back to Manly. You just zoom in there and show all the punters at home. There we go.
All right, that's excellent. Remember, at Brendan Wood, Brenden Wood, no S, on all social medias. Sydney's greatest tour guide.
Okay, Kieran, come over here, please.
Well, now on the Spit Bridge, as you can see, you stop there on the red signal, traffic lights there. Finish the note during the peak hour traffic in the morning. Those yellow lane markers get shifted across. In the peak hour coming back, get shifted across this way to allow free lanes in and out of the northern beaches. Boats like that can easily go on the Spit Bridge, but all those yachts and bigger crafts over there need to wait till the opening times. Here's a look at the Spit Bridge control tower. And we're walking right now on the actual drawbridge. There's the bit that goes up, allowing for the vessels to pass underneath. Here we are at the Balmoral Beach in Sydney's North Shore, nearby the suburb of Mossman. There's a boardwalk here that was started into construction in 1920s, completed in 1930. Balmoral Beach, you see it's in 2 parts. And just over there is the Navy base, HMAS Penguin, home of clearance diving team. So that boat there. See that facility there is the Clearance Diver Training Centre. Also home of the Hydrographic School, medicine, underwater medicine. Also the Navy Military Hospital for the North Shore side of Sydney. Various accommodation blocks, being the officers' accommodation. See the junior sailors' accommodation there. And that actually goes all the way beyond these trees, and there's actually a gate over there to allow Navy personnel access to Balmoral Beach.